That one. Let's see if this works. What's going on, everybody? Oh, look at that. It worked. All right, cool. We got a brand new look, brand new season, and we are back and ready to go talking about some football. Once again, it feels like it has been forever. Straight up forever. It kind of has been, right? It's been like months and months and months since we all got together and talked football, but it's August 1st. Season's here. The teams are in pads. We finally have Madden news coming out every day this week, so lots of stuff to talk about. Some people in the chat or in the panel today have some wild conspiracy theories. You guys will let us know what you guys think. Bra is a magician who continuously disappears.
Am I
like the picture from Back to the Future when he, like, they slowly vanishes. That's what it is.
You know what? Let me turn it off. There you go.
Oh man, that's exactly what it was. You Marty McFly right the fuck out of there, sir. Well done. Oh man. All right, we're off to a good start already. Whatever, at least we got audio this time. It's usually our first. I was very concerned I would not get the combination of things set up properly here on the first day. But gentlemen, welcome back in. We are missing Miss Lauren tonight. She has a family event. So I'm sure we'll catch up with here shortly. Actually, I think she's gonna be streaming later on tonight, so we're gonna catch up with her when she gets on. But around the room, gentlemen, it has been a hot minute. How has your summer off away from Madden been? Shop, how you been, buddy?
I've been good, man. Just kind of preparing myself, you know, just a slow grind until today, until August, and this is where the real grind starts. So I've been just, you know, as an older guy, you know, you just need to pace yourself. So that's what I'm doing. I'm pacing myself, but now I'm going full in.
Right on. Yeah, no, I feel you. It's been I did the same thing, had to step away a little bit, clear your head. I made a little joke yesterday that, like, you know, it was your last, if you're a content creator, a Madden content creator, that was your last weekend until after the Super Bowl. So I hope everybody like got out and enjoyed it a little bit, because it is nonstop from here until March. Mr. Rhino in a brand new room. Go ahead and explain to the people what's been going on in Rhino Land.
We moved. We got a new house. Still setting up, as you can see. Not quite where I want it to be yet, but regardless, I'm happy to be back on the show. It's been a minute. Definitely have taken a lot of time off from Madden. I know you guys have kind of just taken the summer off, but I took a whole year off. So I'm looking forward to getting back into it. Kind of refreshed, rejuvenated, but we'll kind of dive into that in a little bit.
Nice. What are the big plans for this very bland room at the moment? Just not used to seeing you in something not spectacular, right? Like, it's been a long time.
I got some ideas.
Looks kind of ordinary,
right?
It is. It's super basic right now. I mean, I just threw up that shelf just so I had something up. But...
I just sent you 5 posters with my logo on it. Don't worry about it. You're
good. The fat heads are on the way. They're already all...
Can you imagine a big old raw fat head right here?
Oh, that'd be great.
Looking over my shoulder.
Right next to it, just see those comms.
I love it. Man, oh man. All right, we're good. I can't wait to see before and after pics. Wait, is that a guitar in the background?
It is.
You can play
Since when do you play the guitar? It's just a decoration, ain't it?
It's just for show.
It's just a decoration.
I've been wanting to get back into it. It's just, you know, time. Busy.
Master of Puppets right now.
You know what is actually fun is because you know, I got super into like Rock Band and Guitar Hero and all that stuff. So I picked up Rocksmith, which is kind of like it teaches you how to play, but like in the aspect of it. It was really cool, and it helped me out a ton. But I mean, I haven't played in a few years now.
I would to pick it back up. Mine have been collecting dust for about 4 years since I picked one up. I picked one up for about 9 minutes, and I'm like, yeah, I don't feel like doing this again.
Since I started streaming, I stopped.
Yeah. You got to balance that time somewhere.
Yeah.
Mr. Raw Dog, buddy, how have we been all summer long? What have you been doing?
MLB and COD. I stopped playing Madden back in like February, so my break was needed, but been long enough. I'm very excited for the release of Madden 23.
And yeah, it's that time of year that everybody has that. We are all, I feel, cautiously optimistic. I think, right? We're waiting to find out what's going to keep coming out. Just now, finally getting player stats. You know, most of us had a chance to play the beta, so we are, you know, we'll see how things shake out here in the next 15 days before we get the full launch. And then Mr. Dev, sir, haven't seen you in Like I talked to you earlier today, but I still see you all the time. How was the summer, man? Fill everybody in. What you been doing? What's been going on?
Spending time watching the baby girl grow, spending time in MLB The Show, doing a lot of grilling and working out. You know what I'm saying? That's really about it. Just like everybody else, same sentiment. Pretty excited. Got to play the beta, and surprisingly, it wasn't terrible. So, pretty excited. You know, it's football season. There's no way you can't be, right? There's no way you can't be excited for football season if you're really a sport fan. I don't know that there's any other sport that really builds hype like football season. So.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's not even close. I think because it's not honestly not even, but it's not just the sport itself. It's like everything else that kind of ramps up from here, right?
Yeah,
like
it brings an entire like football season, right? Like it brings a whole atmosphere with it, and a whole like everything just kind of starts to roll in place real quickly.
Right.
So.
Yeah, like to me, this is like the grind from like it. Like they showed up in pads today, right? Like everyone's in pads today. To me, it's like it's fall. It's fall. We already hit fall, and then like we don't get out of this mode until like I'm like, okay, spring should be here like any day, right? Like we're at that point. Like this is it. This is about to take us all the way to spring, and it's just the best, right? The weather's gonna change. It's gonna get cold outside. That
for you guys.
Well, yeah, the rest of us will have some like nice fall crisp air outside, right? Like there's nothing better than Sunday throwing a hoodie on. It's still not that cold out, but like you're comfortable in the hoodie. The air's nice and fresh outside. You're like, I'm gonna sit here and watch football all day long, and I don't care. It's perfect. I can't wait.
I actually bought a 14-foot blow up projector screen for my backyard to watch football outside around the fire come wintertime.
Nice.
What a way to flex on us, Raw.
I know,
That's
right?
why your ass disappearing all the time, huh?
Yeah. I know. I'm gonna one up them though. I bought a stand for a TV, and I'm delaying the pool closing this year until the end of October so I can watch football from the hot tub while it's on the back patio.
There you go. Okay.
It's like life goals. That's it.
It's actually, you know, it's actually good for you to do that.
What?
It's nice to get out there and be in the cold weather every once in a while like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
no, I
actually
have
really-
that shit for
it
6
is really
months.
good.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
What do you mean you have that shit? Well, we have. Oh, you're in Buffalo, so you're a little
Yeah.
colder.
It's miserable,
Yeah, that man
bro.
basically are in
It's the
Canada.
cold
It's
stuff
a little
all the
bit
time.
colder up there.
Yeah.
I know how cold it is.
Canada
It's a
for
little
me
bit
is 9 miles west. It's not north. It's 9 miles west of here. Okay, like it's not. I don't need none of that. It's cold enough. We skip all that. All right, so we have some stuff to talk about here. Different, not even football related. So we've been teasing some stuff out a little bit of Twitter, you know, tidbits here and there. But we have a new, how do we call this?
Organization.
Yes, that's a good word for it. I don't want to call it a team. I don't want to call it a group. It's a new organization. Folks, you guys are looking at the starting 5 of the starting 6 members of Nexus Interactive. We want to take a minute before we dive into the football part of the show and talk about what exactly is Nexus. This is a little bit different. Like we were all part of OGN before. We are stepping away from OGN and taking a different approach this season, right? Different plans. We wanted to make a group as a whole that was inclusive and full of like-minded creators, with the intent of basically just sharing knowledge and opportunities with each other, and to, more importantly, provide a roster of like-minded content creators for you to go out and collaborate with and work with together. Because to me, that's always been one of the hardest parts of being a content creator, is trying to go out and collab with new people. Have this great idea, but like, hey, I need like 6 people to do this, or you know, you need somebody else to bounce things off with. And I feel like that's always been one of the hardest parts, is to get other like-minded people to go in. So what this really is a conglomerate of people that want to go out and make content together. So we decided to create Nexus Interactive and kick it off. Lauren's with us as well. Like I said, she'll be on later on tonight. I don't know. Fill in the gaps here for me, guys. What do you guys feel like the long-term goals and driving force behind creating Nexus is?
Well, I think for me, I'll go first. I think for me, I've always loved to help people, and so I feel like this is an opportunity for me to help streamers and those who want to get into streaming, and just provide assistance for people out there. I mean, granted, we don't know everything there is. We're not, in the top 1% of Twitch streamers, but I think collectively as a group, we have a lot of knowledge here that we can share. And like you said, Kay, being able to collaborate and do some things, some meaningful things, is what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, to piggyback off what Shop just said, I mean, it is the biggest thing is we want to be able to, leave a legacy behind, right? Like, this is an entertainment space. It's a space that allows us to be super creative, unique, resourceful, and all of that means nothing if we don't get to share with all of you guys out there that show us the love and support on an everyday basis. So, Nexus Interactive is exactly that. It's a place to be yourself, your individual, unique, beautiful self, but still not be left behind because you didn't know how to rub the right elbow or whatever, right? So like, it gives us all an opportunity. We are all, great at something or some things, and just being able to work together like that, it's a beautiful thing that really kind of just blossomed on its own, and it just seemed like the right next generational step for what all of us, I think we could say, wanted to accomplish moving forward with this next season of life, if you will.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, to continue with that, it's like they're saying, you can't, to keep what you have, you got to kind of give it away. And all of us are pretty successful in streaming. We've all gotten to the levels that, hit goals that we wanted, this and that. And I've been doing this for 6 years, and I'm still learning from you guys as well. So it's not just helping new people, it's everyone helping each other and growth, and the end result is everyone wants to make goals, right? We all have goals. We can all accomplish the goals together in a wonderful environment, a friendly, open environment. And it's safe, no judgment free. You want to learn how to play, MLB, you ask Shop. I mean, football, you ask Shop.
Don't ask me.
What I'm saying, there's things, or hey, listen, I'm not too familiar with how to use this, or do this in my stream. What should I do? There's many times that my OBS settings change, and Ryan will hit me up like, bro, what did you touch? And I didn't touch anything. And I don't even know, I just hit the live button and I go, and Rhino will jump in and tell me, all right, fix this. And I guess I've been doing this a while, but I'm humble enough to know there are other people that know more than me. A smart man knows he knows nothing, and the more we can teach and learn from each other, the better each and every one of our streams will be.
No, agreed.
Yep. Yeah, agreed. And that's a true story. That's happened at least 3 times where we've opened up Raw stream like, what the hell happened here?
And it's not over. And I don't touch nothing. I don't touch anything.
Yeah, it's been.
We've all been there.
I think, like, for me anyway, like, one of the best parts about like what we've done as a group, right, and what we're trying to open this up to more people to come in and join and be a part of, is that, like, almost like a proof check sometimes, right? Like, it was Dev. It was probably 10 o'clock at night, and I'm shooting Dev YouTube thumbnails. I'm like, how do these look? What should I change? This and that. And he's back and forth with me, and just like to give each other a different perspective and views on things. As as fellow content creators, we've all gone through things like, you might miss something, right? When you're working on your own content, it's easy to get sucked in and get too close to it, where you kind of need that extra person from the outside to go, hey, what's your plan with this? Where are you going on this? And to hold each other a little bit accountable, to go, hey, I need you to make sure that I do this, right? Because we all have our fallacies, right? Like, it's, that reminder, and not like nagging, but sometimes nagging, sure, but that reminder of like, hey, you said you're going to do this, don't fall off now, right? Keep going, keep doing this, keep doing it. Like, a little bit of like encouragement to stay on the path that you set for yourself.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is essentially, it's not like a stream team, essentially, what we've seen in the past, where you know, you have a community of people, and it's essentially, it's not a follow for follow or anything like that. It is like what everybody has said so far. It is a hub where we can learn from each other, we can grow with each other, and just, you know, help us reach that next step. We have so much experience already on this team, just the 5 of us on the screen plus Lauren, that have gone through so many different avenues in the streaming world, that pretty much all of us collectively have an answer for any sort of question you guys would have. So I mean, I'm excited for this. I think it's something, Kay and I have talked about this for, you know, for a long time, just trying to like establish something like this. And it just got to a point where we ran with it. And this has been in the works for how many months now, guys? I mean, it's exciting that we finally we pulled the trigger on it and we're going with it. Yes, so I'm excited.
100%.
Right.
You know, the getting together and figure out just from the even the name, you know, how we all came together as a group, worked together on the name, and then all the nucleus, everything together, and not one person's in charge, not one person's this or that. We are together. And the greatest thing about it too is, if, like you said earlier, if you have any questions, just ask, and any one of us will answer. You want to get in a, you know, hey, listen, Rock, can I want to learn how to do some things on COD, whatever. Okay, hit me up and we can get together. I don't mind. I'll teach you what to do and what to look for and stuff. So yeah, it is like we're peers. You know, we're a group of...
Please make sure before you hit Raw up on COD that you've done all comms checks. Okay, he doesn't do bad comms. Okay, so if you don't know your left from your right and your top from your bottom, you should be making sure that you are fully engaged.
Yeah.
And if
he will definitely get you.
And if you show up to the practice or whatever with a crossbow,
hey,
the session terminated and non-refundable.
Done. But I'm truly excited and honored to be part of this community, because it is a great community that, you know, that we're starting.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see to where this goes, and the resource we can provide to each other and anybody else that wants to come in and join in on all the fun. Application is going to be out there. Check the Nexus Interactive Twitter that retweeted my tweet earlier that we were going live on this. We'll have that out there if you guys want to join in and jump in. There you go. Rhino's dropping the link in there. See how resourceful these guys are? That's it. It's good. The Discord's full too. Yeah, jump in the Discord too. The Discord is full of, or will be full. It's still building, but good info. But just to reiterate too, OGN has not gone away. We've just decided to branch off and do our own thing. OGN is still there. But I know a number of the folks there will be joining us at Nexus as well. Football.
And also thank you for the time and the help that I got and the growth that I got through OGN as well.
Yeah, it's no bad blood. It's not like we're like burning bridges.
Zero bad blood.
We should probably say that there is zero ill will towards OGN. A lot of people that are here know that like that was a J-Dub thing, and a lot of people know that J-Dub is kind of no longer here. So he made it difficult for us to continue to allow the OGN to grow in a way that made sense for us. So I mean, unfortunately, it was just kind of like, this is just a fact. Like, unfortunately, we couldn't do any more than what we had already done. So in order to not, you know, hinder our growth, our community's growth, our, you know, everything that has to do with, you know, this venture and content creation, you know, unfortunately, fortunately, this had to happen. So no negative towards them at all, or anyone that decides to stay over there. It just was, unfortunately for us, what we wanted to accomplish. There wasn't a way for us to continue to do it with that moniker, because we just couldn't do anything with it because it wasn't ours. So
right. Yeah, and that's no different than, I mean, you guys have all known people have come in and left OGN while we were all a part of it. There's been no ill blood or, you know what I mean, ill will towards anybody. It's a natural progression of things, right? It's a natural step. So there's nothing more to say about it, right? It's just, we're just a new group and we're, you know, pressing forward and that's that. Doing what we do best. And right now, that is talking about football. Because I am so damn excited.
Oh, we're not talking about COD?
Get out of
Huh?
here. Just-
All right, okay, right now here we go.
We all know that we got ratings this week, starting ratings out today. Any surprises today? I know we're just running backs. I took a peek at it. The only thing that I didn't agree with was Patterson being in the top 10 and not Saquon instead.
See, I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah.
Already, here we go.
I'm with you, Dev. I loved
Yeah, I
it.
loved it. He totally
liked
earned
it,
it.
yeah.
He deserved.
He-
Here's
he
because this will be.
deserved
This is
way
the
more.
first year that list came out, and this is the first year that it felt like that people actually watched football. They actually were progressive, and it wasn't just the same names that we've seen over the last 3-4 years. Obviously, there was still a lot of the same names, right? Like CMC.
Right.
If we want to talk about somebody who didn't really deserve to be up
I
there,
didn't think he deserved it. He should have been right there with Saquon off
Right.
the list.
right? Yeah, exactly.
But what about if you're gonna say that? I mean, doesn't Ezekiel Elliott deserve to be in the top 10 too?
No, I actually
No.
think Tony Pollard deserves it more than Zeke, but that's
Yeah,
just
I
me.
agree. No,
He
I'm
ain't nowhere
on
near
par
that
with you,
list.
Dev.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm just throwing it out there to be the devil. By the way, they just 23 minutes ago, they showed the top 10 overall players, but
And Derrick Henry is number 5.
number 5 at an 88.
Yeah, everybody else is
Oh,
ghosted out.
okay.
Everyone else is ghosted out right now. So
I will
mean,
say this.
obviously, number one's got to be Aaron Donald, right?
I assume it'll. I mean, we'll talk about it, right? We got
Yeah,
time to
yeah,
talk
yeah.
about it, right?
Yeah.
But I
Um,
assume. But the biggest thing to me is that Derrick Henry's an 88 at number 5, so that either
Yeah.
tells you that all 10 of them are 88s, or maybe we see 89s for the first time in a long time.
What about
That long
90?
as well.
You thinking 90?
no,
91?
no way.
Too high, right? Too
No,
high,
No,
right?
too high. Too
No
high.
I
way.
don't think it would be 90, but I
Too
could
high.
leave 89. Last year it was 88 was the cap, so
Well,
we'll see.
And like you said, Dev, I mean, we already saw that Jonathan Taylor was at 87.
Right.
So that means everybody from 5 to 10 is an 88.
I
Right.
agree. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's you know.
Yeah.
I don't think we get to 90 though.
No, I don't want to.
You don't think we get a quarterback at 90? I think we could.
Brady
Who would
No,
that? It
not
would have to
Brady.
be Brady, right?
or Rodgers?
I think it could be Rodgers. Hell, I'm
Rodgers.
afraid to even say it could be Josh Allen.
Oh god, I'm out. See you guys later.
I mean-
you know what? Let me
I couldn't
understand what
believe
you're
that they
saying.
would do something. I
If
mean,
I
to
get a
believe,
whiff-
look, like,
If I get a whiff that Allen's an 89 or the top 5, I am canceling my pre.
Oh,
I'm
he
out.
might be up there in that top 5. We'll see.
He could. Yeah, he could be up in that top 5.
No, you know what?
Um,
He deserves it.
I will say this. I think that if the great John Madden had not passed away, Josh Allen had a hell of a shot of being on that cover this year.
I agree.
Yeah.
Over Burrow?
Yeah.
I think
Over
so.
both
Yeah.
ways, I believe.
Just based
Yeah.
on like, I mean,
Listen, you know, it pains me. It literally hurts my inside to say this. But yeah, Josh Allen is a great quarterback.
He is.
Great quarterback.
yeah, he
great
gave everybody a damn heart attack the other day in practice when he got
He
nudged
did lose to the Jacksonville.
Oh,
running
yeah,
into the
like,
end zone.
Oh,
My guy ran
Hey.
into the end zone, got bumped,
He
and then
gave
rolled down and
you
passed
a heart
out.
attack.
Ugh.
Oh
he
my.
gave you a heart attack. What I learned is that Josh Allen is that guy. That's what I learned.
You know what,
Is
though?
that
I mean, when he punched the
doesn't care
defensive
who
tackle in
you
the face,
think you
yeah.
are, or he doesn't need a coach to blow a whistle for him. He's taking command of his team right up front and letting you know right out the gate, hey, you f with me, I'm gonna f with you right on back. I ain't no punk old quarterback like some of these other guys talk about some don't touch me.
You know,
I
Yeah.
like it.
I agree, but they still need to be careful. They need production out of their backfield. He cannot be the leading passer and the leading rusher on that team.
Yeah.
100%. It won't last.
200%. 200%. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think
yeah.
that'll be the
Body
case
will-
this year.
Body will give out.
I don't think that'll be the. From what I'm anticipating anyway from James Cook, I'm excited for
They grab somebody or they
different-
sign somebody.
James Cook, Alvin
Cook
Cook's
is
little
who
brother.
they drafted.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
right, right,
yeah.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
His off-field personality is amazing. Did you see him talking to the beat reporter or whatever, and he went to shake hands, and the guy didn't shake his hands. He just stayed there waiting.
Oh
So
yeah,
the guy
yeah,
turned-
yeah, yeah.
He was just
He's
like,
that big goofball, man. He's
Yeah, he's
hysterical to
a
watch.
big goofball. That's a good.
I don't follow him, but they show up on my TikToks, the Buffalo Bills TikTok thing, and he is hysterical on that.
Yeah, from everything that I hear, like him and Diggs together are just like, you know, those like those two kids in school that were always in trouble because they were always giggling in the back. Like that's them the whole time.
Goose and Maverick.
Yeah,
Goose and Maverick, 100%.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. I love him to death. I'd marry him tomorrow. Hands down.
Like we said, all inclusive, ladies.
Yeah, all inclusive. Oh yeah, front row. Back to Madden speak. I want to touch on this real quick. I want Deb to run. Actually, no. Are you doing a video on this? Did it go out yet? What are we doing?
I'm not gonna do a video, okay? I'm not that crazy.
What
we can talk about it here.
All right, fine. We'll talk about it here, and then you can just go clip it up and at least make like 4 TikToks out of it. I'm gonna do a video.
Okay. All right.
All right, Dev. Guys. Let's preface this real quick. Dev has a, I think actually a multitude. How much time we got? A multitude of conspiracy theories based on Madden 23 so far. I'm just gonna sit back and let him go nuts. Go ahead, sir.
Oh shit. I'm intrigued.
So check it out. First and foremost, I'm not just pulling this out of my ass. Let me really preface it by saying that I'm the guy that reads quarterly reports. Okay, I'm that guy, right? Like IGN talks about, they had their, quarterly calls, and these are the reports. Here's the links, X, Y, and Z. All right. So let me preface it by saying that number one, the number one initiative within EA is to be the premier live service company. What that means is that they don't give a damn about actual physical sales. They give a damn about all of their DLC, all of their battle passes, all of their games being what they call live service, i.e. think Fortnite, think PUBG and those style of games, Apex Legends, right? Like Apex Legends to date is their largest live service title, and I think that's going to change. Do I think Madden will ever be free to play? No, I don't think they'll ever be able to afford Madden to be free to play, because I don't think that we as players will ever shell out that amount of money for it to be free to play. So that's never going to happen. But I do think that you're going to see a significant shift to where they're going to balance out more pay to play. And what I mean by that is like they're going to push our envelope and our wallets until we say enough is enough. Real talk. And you can look at it from little things, right? The very first teaser that let me know that they were moving on with this in Madden this year was the fact that they gave us Madden points as a pre-order bonus, right? And not only just they gave us Madden points, they gave us a hefty amount. 4,800 Madden points right now, if you look at it, that's like almost $40, right?
Yeah. And it's not going to be able to buy you nothing.
That's my point. They're giving away 4,800 points, right? Like if they're giving away 4,800 points, that tells me that packs are about to be
2 cards. You're going to get 2 cards.
Wait, can I chime in as the accountant real quick?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you don't want to buy a bundle, spread that 4,600 out over a number of weeks for those weekly elite packs.
It's 9.
Yeah, that's 9 weeks. That gets you all the way to Thanksgiving, or all the way to
if they stay at 500 a pack.
They're not going to stay at 500.
And I don't think there's a single thing in the store that stays at the same price.
Can I
So that was the number one thing. That was the number one thing that let me know, right?
Okay.
Then they dropped the info about the game, and there's this thing called the Field Pass, or whatever the hell it's called. If you've ever played Madden Mobile, that already exists. And it's exactly what you think it is. It is a battle pass that allows you to buy through levels and get bonus XP for having said battle pass, just like any structure of any other game, right? Cool. Then they introduced Skate. And for those of you that know, that have been around my block, right? Skate, to me, was, okay, that's it. Like, they're full sending this. They're full sending this. They waited, and they brought back a franchise that they already know has a great player base, already has a great game structure, and now they're going to introduce that as free to play, and they are going to make it their transaction heaven. They are going to do the same with Madden. Madden is going to be the most expensive Madden that we've seen to date. And as soon as they drop that card art today, and I was able to talk to my people and get verification that the card art today is card art from the retail version. That means the game that we're going to play in 2 weeks. That's what these cards are going to look like. And they were missing one specific icon on them.
Power up.
That's right. The power up. Think about it. Think about how much more money they will make if they MLB'd it, right? I don't believe that they parallel system. I don't think that they care that once a card becomes dated, it's dated, because honestly it is anyways, right? We don't do anything with those cards. We either use the training bypass or we're hustling to get the new card anyways. So what is that old card actually doing? Nothing. And they've heard enough of the training gripes. So now they said, screw it, forget the power up. We see more people are playing with cards without the power up anyways. So let's make cards and more of them. And I think that's what you're going to see this year. I think you're going to see a lot more cards.
Can I ask you a question? Do you mean, like, for example, more cards of the same player, like the way they do the legend cards, where you get an 87, 85, 90, 92? Okay. Because that's how it was in MUT 12. MUT 12, they came out with a 93 version, a 95 version, and then a 97 version, and a 99 version of the same player when they did legend players.
Yeah, I think that's inevitably what's going to happen, because you look at it, training still has value with the strat items, right? Because how many people like myself didn't know that you needed to upgrade your strat item until halfway through the season? I was one of them. It was Kay actually who was like,
yeah, that TikTok got 52,000 comments on it that nobody knew about it.
Listen, by January I had a 94 overall team just by upgrading the strats.
No, I didn't even know. I didn't even know. So like training still has value there, and then they already showed us, look, cards are still going to have ability buckets. Abilities are still going to matter. I just think abilities are also going to cost more training. Look at the work that they did with abilities, right? Like Escape Artist is an X Factor. There's already been leaks that say that there are 5 new abilities in the game. There's already been, you know what I'm saying? So like there's supposedly a new archetype in the game for both offense and defensive side of the ball.
I will say real quick though, the good part is that all tier 1 abilities don't cost anything.
I was just about to say that.
That's
actually
huge.
About to say that.
But a guy like me, I can now throw in the tier 1 abilities without going, I ain't buying that training. It's at 105 per. Fuck that. I can now use that.
I'm going to call back.
Here's the thing. Those tier 1 abilities are going to still be, I think everything is still going to be gated, right? Just like they are right now, right? Like everything is gated behind buckets, and, you know, some abilities don't open up until you get to those certain buckets.
Overalls, yeah.
Tier 1 abilities are still going to kind of be probably some, you know, piss poor abilities, which is why like the Cooper Cup having slot apprentice right away is a big deal, why I think the Barry Sanders is going to be a big deal, and why I think both of the defensive players are ass, because there's no reason why Micah Parsons should have Lurker and Deflator. Well, we all saw how difficult it was to get fumbles last year, and I didn't feel any new balancing on getting fumbles when I played the beta this year, so I don't think that's going to matter either. So, I mean, your choices for those pre-orders, if you have them, in my opinion, are Barry Sanders or
Cooper Cup.
Yeah, and I'm really leaning toward, after seeing the running backs today, I'm really leaning towards Cup, because I think that there's probably 2 running backs out there that are going to play just as well as Barry, even without evasive.
I know, but let's talk about those guys real quick, right? Let's talk about those pre-order guys, because I had the exact opposite mentalities. I saw today's cards and I went, well, I'm getting Barry then. F all these guys, because Barry gets evasive, right, for free. Has 86 speed, which was the fastest out of all those guys I saw today. And if you want to go like Derrick Henry, CMC, any of those top 5 guys, so I'm not dropping 280,000 coins in the first month to get an 84 speed running back, but I can get an 86 speed guy with evasive for free.
You're right. I just think.
Go ahead.
But Kay, I just think the slot apprentice on Cup is going to be too good to pass up. Now, granted, he's not as fast as even some of the rookie premieres that are coming out, but to be able to have slot apprentice, I just think is going to be too much. Not only do you get I just think the cuts are going to be better, of course, and you get those extra routes. Like,
yeah, no, I agree.
I don't see how you pass
I don't
that
think
up.
you're wrong.
The problem is it's video games, and we all know that video games tease out one item that has something, and something else is going to come out with that same exact item.
Not for a couple weeks. I think
pre-launch, at the not pre-launch, but at the launch, when they release those bundles and all that stuff, they might come out with a card that has that.
maybe,
You never know.
maybe.
Yeah, I expect. Here's the thing. They're pre-order items, and we've seen this
Right.
before. I 200% expect at least one other card to get this, probably during the NFL kickoff promo.
What about,
to be
what about
honest,
it could be on the first legend drop.
What do you mean? What do you mean expect to
the
get?
legend drop is past the NFL kick. Like, I
Route
think it
tech
could
or
be as early
basic?
as the kickoff promo, and I think we could see like some of these guys that we saw today. I wouldn't be surprised if one of them gets a card
Oh, yeah.
during the kickoff promo.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
no reason to believe Jonathan Taylor doesn't get a card with the way that he ran for over 200 yards in week 1 last year, or whatever the case is, however they decide to do, whatever. But yeah, I don't. All I'm saying is that at the end of the day, just be prepared. If you're someone who is already kind of willing to put money into Madden, you're going to put more money than you've ever put into Madden if you decide to go that route this year. And everything that I've seen from the time that I read that report stating that they were going to be doing this has kind of trickled into like, oh, damn, they pulled that. Like, this is right now, not 23 for Madden 24. Like, this is right now. Like, they are full sending it and going to continue to full send it. And I bet you I wouldn't even be surprised if bundles go up in price. I'm excited. I mean, I'll be excited to fire up.
I actually want to just comment on that real quick, because you had mentioned that that's the first. Just so you guys know, I've been playing since MUT 10, and that's the first thing they changed is the bundles. They changed the price. They changed the card amount inside of it. Once they got rid of the strategy, I'm sorry, the what was it? The coaches cards, uniforms, the playbooks, and all that. But back in MUT 12, and I'll use MUT 12 as my favorite. Man, I always use that one. When you would buy a 60K bundle, 60,000, whatever it was a 60-pack points, 60-pack bundle for $100, and you got 4 elite toppers. 4. Now you get 1, and it's still the same price, and you get less cards. So I think the first thing to go will be something in the cards. In the pack.
I mean, and I'll leave you with this little piece right here. I'll say it again, right? Like, they gave us points in the pre-order, which is unheard of, right? That's number 1. And number 2, somebody pointed it out to me this morning. The 10 hours and the pre-order early access start on the same day, which apparently is also the first time that they've ever done that. And now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, that's accurate, because last year they gave us the 10 hours on Friday, and then you were able to play the game come Tuesday. And I remember that because I rationed out my 2 hours of streaming a day to use my early access before the game dropped. So like, there's like almost like, that's kind of like a kick in the leg too, right? Because now for those of us that paid for EA Play and then we're like, bet we want to be able to play Madden early, we just kind of got shit on.
Oh, look, all I know is EA need to bring back that partner program and give me a damn partner code, because
Right?
there's gonna be some people putting up some dough on this game when it comes out.
I'm going no money spent.
There's gonna be a new category now. It's gonna be low money spent, because
That's always been a category.
there's gonna be
said,
no money, low money, and most money spent.
Yeah, I already dubbed the team. I was telling Kay about this the other night, boy. We are the cheaper sleepers, because I'm not going to be able to put money into Madden like that, right? Like, I'm going to buy a couple bundles or whatever, but we going to be the cheaper sleepers, and we going to be just fine.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be tough. I'm going no money. I am going no money spent this year.
I'm
You
going
don't even know what the hell that means.
Right?
Still no money spent.
I'm going low money spent. There's no way I could go no money spent. I'm
Yeah,
going
hey,
no
cheaper
money
sleeper. Hey, you could join. Hey, look, you could be the first cheaper
Can I
sleeper with
join?
me.
Yeah, all right. I'll join the cheaper
It's just
sleeper.
for me,
Yeah,
it's got to be
cheaper
worth it,
sleepers.
right?
We
Like,
taking the street. Cheaper sleepers taking the streets.
No, listen. This year, you know, I'm using Nexus to the fullest this year. I am getting K into a Discord chat every week, and I am building up my mud binder.
but fucker, I stream for 3 hours a day showing you how to do it.
But to be fair, while you're streaming, I'm also streaming and yelling at people during COD. So
There's all my VODs
There's
go on
VODs.
YouTube now.
There's
You can
VODs.
watch it the next day on YouTube. You be all right.
you know what? Fair enough.
But yeah, hey, so like, just be ready for it, y'all. The shift is coming to where, like, you guys thought it was bad before, and things were expensive, and cards were locked, and LTDs were too. Like, it's.
With your
It's
conspiracies.
I just want people to know, right? Like, they're giving us the information. Whether or not you decide to read it is obviously like the thing,
And
right? But like, they make it publicly known that these our plans. We have told the people that have invested in our company, this is what we're doing, and we got the green light. So like, it's coming. It ain't gonna be on them. It's gonna be on us. So like, they've already shown it to me with everything that's led up to this year. As soon as they said that the points were involved, I said, oh, pack prices are going up. I walked right upstairs to Kels and I said, pack prices are going up.
Yeah, I will
So
say
they gave us almost $50, what would be almost equivalent to $50 worth of Madden points today. Ain't no shot it's worth $50 in Madden 23 if they gave that.
You'll get 2 bundles. You'll get 2 bundles if that.
Oh, you mean you're gonna get like
And I'm
2
talking
6-pack? You talking about 2
6-packs.
6-packs?
Yeah, 2 6-packs.
Yeah.
No
You're
topper.
gonna get 2
Yeah.
6-packs.
Yeah, 2 6-pack, no topper.
I will say what's going to be very, very different this year, just with the info that we already know regarding the power-ups and how it looks like each card will be standalone and no longer go into a series. Your investing days are fucking over. There's no longer, I mean, it was already a bad idea for some stuff, right? Like last year it was like, oh, let me load up on all these power-ups and whatnot. And it was never the guy you thought that was going to pop off, right? Like how many people went out there, tried to load up on 100 Tyreek Hill power-ups, and then Tyreek Hill gets a new card, they're like, here, power-up for free, and just tank that market, right? So those are dead. And investing in a card, period, is useless now because he has no value to ever go up.
Do you think that they're giving us that 4,600 points because they might sell coins again?
I don't. That's
And they want us to use it on coins because they sold coins back in the day. It was $100. It was like $100 for 250,000 coins years ago. You know, and again, Mud 12. But do you think that maybe they're giving us not to buy packs but to buy coins? Because when you got MLB, you got stubs.
I mean, here with them, so if they're going to take away some of the investing aspects of the game, and I think if they're going to go to a more traditional live series or, you know, live service game mode, I think selling stubs, coins is, I've been out way too long. I think selling coins is like a natural progression, right? If you want to go a live service game, I think so a live service game, people are like, what the intent is, the barrier for the last few years for Madden is if you start too late, a lot of guys won't even start like October. They're like, I'm already too far behind, right? But like a game like MLB, I tell guys all the time that you can jump in tomorrow. Like everything's still there. You can still go get everybody. You just now have 200 hours worth of stuff to grind out instead of doing it, 10 hours at a time like the rest of us have done over the time. But if you could drop in and go, ooh, I'm way behind. Here's $200 and you're caught up instantly, right? Instantly, you can get caught up in the game.
Well, that's the thing. You're talking about a game that, is attracted to young kids, 15, 16, 17-year-old kids who don't have a lot of money that come Christmas time, they want to get back, they want to catch up. Now, you're able to buy, buy coins. You can buy your players again.
Oh, I could see them dropping like those team packs. Like get a whole team for.
Oh yeah, they did experiment with those last year.
Right. I actually enjoyed.
I love those. Yes, those were awesome.
Because you were able to sell the cards that you had on your team, and then you're not at the end of the day anyway.
Yeah, and I can see them doing more of that this year.
that's actually a great thing for creators too, because you could buy a team and do a team video, and just buy your teams.
Right. Yeah, no, I think it's a great idea. I mean, honestly, like I think that'd be a great idea. Even as, like, you know, everyone treats EA like the evil empire, but being able to buy back into the game at any given point, I think is fantastic. I mean, you know, not top tier, but like,
look at
you
that
know,
superstar.
say you're gonna buy back into the game, you know, at zero chill, right? Like you're home from school on Christmas break and you want to buy back in. Everybody's rocking 95, 96 overalls. If you can buy back in at a 93, 94 and be somewhat competitive day one, that's massive, right? That's huge, I think. Riley popped in to say hi. Everybody say hi to Riley.
Hey, Riley.
Say hi.
Hi.
Say thanks for letting me stop by.
Thank you for stopping by.
Dev's like, yo, let me go get the best Madden player in the house real quick.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna have her on solos in no
Right,
time.
yeah. That's like, yo, she's a year and a half away from grinding some solo battles all day.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'll be
man.
out there in a minute. I'm almost
DJ
done.
Eternal,
Yeah.
DJ Eternal, no lie detected in that.
Yeah.
No lies.
Yeah, Dev, so we just, while you were away, we brought up the possibility of buying back into the game at random points.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean
Like,
buying back
So,
into the
well,
game?
Raw had brought up maybe they were going to sell coins again, right? With that
Maybe they give us
4,600 points.
4,600.
But as a live series game, right, a live service game, if you were to jump back into Madden or jump in for the first time around Christmas time, and instead of starting out with a 68 overall team, you won't do that, right? People don't play Madden late in the year because they're so far behind. Or instead, they could buy a team for X amount of dollars and get a 93 overall squad and have the ability to jump back in at any different point. I think that helps your live service theory.
Well, they kind of showcased that earlier this year.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
what we
they
talked
ran
about.
that
Yeah.
program about. They ran that program about like 3 times this year, didn't they? I think at like 3 different times they did. At 3 different points, they introduced a hey, come buy your team, you know, for $20 or whatever the case was, and they were giving you
Buy offense, buy defense.
right,
Right.
exactly, and you
Well,
could
that team that
choose
you got-
either. You said what?
The team that you got from that was like a 93 overall, 92
Yeah.
overall.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It wasn't bad. If you're first time into Madden, right? Like, and you're you know, you caught it on a sale or whatever. So instead of paying the full 60, you pay 40, but then you know you can pay 20 and get a 93 overall team right out of the gate, and it's all based off of your favorite team. Like, that's not a bad
Right.
move at all. So
Yeah, no, they have lots and lots of options, I think.
so let me ask you this question,
Yes.
because this was also brought up as a potential, and I saw somebody mention NFTs earlier. If they told you right now that you could get an LTD for $10, would you do it?
Me being a pack addict.
Just period.
No.
Like if the newest LTD came out, here, take your chance at packs, or you're guaranteed to get this LTD. Great, baby, it's Buzz Lightyear, I know. And it was guaranteed at $10. Would you buy it?
It depends on the player. If it's Jets, Darrell Revis, yes. But if it's a Cowboys player, no. So I understand both sides. I understand what you're saying. Not every LTD.
And
Some LTDs I also enjoy the hunt.
Yeah, the hunt for it, yeah.
You know, I'm a pack addict, 100%, and I'm not being a jerk about it. I'm just a pack addict. I buy thousands of packs even on MLB. I like the hunt.
I was about to say, and it kind of diminishes the LTD if everybody can just buy one.
Yeah.
I'm torn on that. I can't give you a good data. I would need to see, as like the market guy, I would need to see the data on what happens to that card and the market for at least 2 weeks before I would decide if it's worth it or not.
What if they did it kind of like, so what if they did it like they did last year? You can pull the 98 or the 99. You know what I'm saying? Or you could buy one, but it's not exactly the same.
Like they did, yeah, like with the Gronk, right? You can pull the 99 or you can buy the 97 or 98, whatever, for training,
Right.
or you know, coins or whatever. I don't hate that. As just someone who plays the game, I don't hate that, right? Because at least that it's that you can use that player, right? Without, especially for the limiteds, right? The pain in the ass is when one of your favorite players comes out as a limited or fits your theme team and you don't pull him, you have no shot. He's there at 700,000 coins. You go, oh, well, this one's 45,000 training. I can just get that one. And I know he's 2 overall less, but he still fits the squad and is an absolute monster. I really actually love that factor of the game.
Okay. Yeah, and I'll be curious to see what they do with the field pass. Some people believe that they are going to mimic exactly what they do on the mobile version. I've only played a little bit of it, so I don't know exactly what that's like. But I've kind of been tuned in to the fact that it's very battle
I'm okay with the field pass if it's not clustered with uniforms, strategy items.
Oh, it will be.
But I think
it absolutely will be. Yes.
I'm okay with it. Listen, if it's a fair shake, or a fair share of what I just said, and some packs or players or Nat players. I'm not a big fan of the Nat players. I never have been. But if it's nice across the board, I'll dabble in it. I mean, I dabble in all battle passes. But
can I bring out a hope real fast?
Yes,
Their other biggest live service game, Apex, has a battle pass.
Yep.
The way that it is structured is that if you buy it once and you complete it, you earn enough in-game currency to buy the next one for free. If they were to do something like, Call of Duty's like that too. You buy it as long as you play and max it out.
Like that as well?
I think it is too. They give you the
like,
points for it.
Yeah.
If they did it that way, we're okay. Here's your battle pass. You buy it for your $20. As long as you get to level 100, you would earn enough Madden points and then get the next one for free. If that is the case, then you can sign me up. If it is not, and it becomes a $20 extra every 6 weeks, I'm out. I'm not touching it. I don't care what the perks are, right? You're not turning a $100 game. It's already a $100 game into someone who plays the game for 11 months out of the year into a $340 game. I'm not doing that. On top of without even touching a pack, right? I'm not playing that game.
Now, Kay, how would that work? They would have to introduce a different currency because let's say they complete it and you give and you get coins.
No, they give you Madden points.
Okay, but for someone like me, I'll blow through those Madden points.
And that's on you. But they would give you enough.
So let me ask you this. So hold on. Hear me out.
Idiot sandwich here. I just realized what I said. Idiot sandwich.
Hold on. So hear me out.
Yeah.
Hear me out. So we have people who were upset behind the money gate, right? That's what I call it. Because this year in Madden, we all know it. You leveled up. You earned packs. But 90% of those packs were locked behind Madden points.
Yes.
Okay. Right. So if you were guaranteed, so let's say you bought into the field pass. Okay, let's say the field pass is $19.99 a season.
Okay.
That's what I'm estimating.
Okay.
That's about on par with every other battle pass on the market. $19.99 on the season. Guaranteed you whatever the $40 value is, right? Let's say they don't change the Madden point value, and it guarantees you 4,800, Madden points if you complete it, on top of XP bonuses and blah 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 to also help you complete the levels in game. Which then in turn, they're like, hey, we're masking the fact that you still would just need to spend the $20 to unlock to unlock your packs because we put it, we doubled the value in your field pass or whatever.
Right.
Would you then think about it? If you knew that there was value, right? Like it's $20, $19.99, whatever, and it gave you double the amount in Madden points, would you do it?
I mean, I'd have to build a spreadsheet. I ain't gonna fucking lie to you.
Not just that. This man, true to character. I'd have to build a spreadsheet on it. Hold on.
It's just what it is, man. That's how I do it. And I'd have it out too. I'd make a great TikTok video on a YouTube video. I'm all for it.
Yeah. Okay, so if
the value's there, sure.
They didn't give you Madden points, and let's say there were the alternate uniforms that we waited all freaking year for last year, right? And I brought up to you, Kay, what if they put like alternate playbooks on there? Anything that we just kind of blew away training on or whatever.
Right.
If they threw on this field pass, You know, as a play, what would entice you to even get it? And I think that's what they're trying to figure out, or what they may already know based on data or whatever. But I would believe, like I said to you, I would believe that they could do it per division, right? AFC North, NFC North is in this season. AFC West, NFC West is in this season. You're going to have, you know, all those alternate uniforms and shit like that on this field pass and whatever. And it'll coincide with however long or whatever the case is. You know, you still kind of get the shit end of the stick if your division is the last division in the, you know, whatever rotation. But would that be more enticing? You know what I'm saying? Because to me, people will spend money, right? We'll buy points to whatever, to buy training anyways, to then roll the training and hope.
Right.
But if you just spent $20 and played the game and you knew you were going to get it.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, I'm apparently I'm a rare creature when it comes to video games, because I will use the stock skin in every game and not give a shit.
Right, I know.
And so, like, the only thing that would get me to do it, I think, would be if you would earn enough to unlock the next battle pass, right? Or something of like that double value, right? Like, even like when it comes to bundles, I don't like buying a bundle unless it's a platinum bundle where I'm guaranteed some level of coins, right? To me, that's worth the risk. A random legend bundle on a Saturday, I'm like, no, I'm gonna get 487s and be pissed off that I blew through $100. So it's got to be the cash to return value, or cash to coin value, would have to be enough where I'm like, I can't pass this one up, right? If it's $20 and I can look at it and go, I'm getting like 400,000 coins worth of value out of it, cool, I'm probably into that. But it would need to be something beyond cosmetics for me to even bat an eye at.
So to simplify what you're saying, if it's a good investment you're in.
Yes.
That's the K I know.
Yeah. The biggest part of it to me, though, is really going to be like how Call of Duty and Fortnite and Apex does it, where I want the ability to unlock the next battle pass with it, or else it's really good. By the third one, I'm going to be so turned off by it. They could put in guaranteed golden tickets in October, and I'm like, nope, not touching you.
I believe that's what the Madden points that they gave us for the pre-order, ultimately they're psychologically hoping you use it on, is to buy into the field pass once or twice.
Got that, Ruh?
But I don't think that I don't know that they would allow you, because then
I'm no money spent.
Oh, right.
Say it again.
I'm no money spent.
Yeah, well, I'm
Bro,
saying
you don't even know what the hell that means.
I know.
It's not even in your definition. Look at your wall of stuff behind you. You don't know what that means.
I put that out on Twitter. I'm like, do you guys think I do no money spent?
No way.
That post didn't go too well.
When's the game come out? The
Okay,
19th?
so I love
the
having
19th.
Rhino, right? I love having Rhino because Rhino skipped a whole iteration and a half, right? Like, to you, Rhino, if you were like, you're like, essentially for you, you're just starting in mud, right? Yeah. So like, as a first timer, I use air quotes because I know you've done it before, but like, what would entice you to buy into a Madden Ultimate Team Battle Pass? And let's not automatically assume that it's only for Madden Ultimate Team. They could obviously tie in, you know, Superstar KO and the Yard and all of this other stuff with it as well.
When if you get coaching points for a franchise?
That's what I'm saying. So like, they could tie it in to where there's a bunch of stuff that comes of it, because at the end of the day, all you have to do is play the game to unlock stuff.
They started doing that, but they started doing that last year, where they tied in the franchise with the, what was that? It wasn't a currency, but what was that other stuff that you had to use to, or the Yard?
Oh, the Yard.
I had 400,000 and I never used any of it, but I see that being part of the battle pass as well.
Yep.
Right, but here's the problem: all the good stuff was locked behind MUT points.
Yeah.
All the good uniforms and stuff was still locked behind real money, right? Like the Jordan uniforms and all the uniforms we saw people playing with, all that stuff was still locked behind actual money. That wasn't the stuff that was available to you in the in-game currency. But anyways, back to you, Mr. Rhino. What would entice you as a returning player, right? You took a year off because you kind of got, you know, whatever, worn out, and it was just like, whatever. Okay, they introduced some new stuff. It sounds fun. Oh, Battle Pass. As someone who buys Battle Passes elsewhere, would cosmetics in Madden be enough for you to want to do it?
I mean, I enjoy the Battle Pass as much as anybody. I buy it all the time in Call of Duty. I've done it in Apex, Fortnite, etc.
Right.
It would get me to play the game more. and just for me, because I enjoy that, because it shows me more of what I'm working towards. Because right now with the whole level system right now in Madden, the rewards are bullshit. They're not good. So having something that I can see, you know, that I can work towards, like kind of like how all of them are set up. You see what each level gets you, and if it's cosmetics, a pack here and there, training points, you know, and then bring it all in. You know, if you're playing franchise, you're getting XP toward, just the way MLB has it set up. Any part of the game you're playing works towards that. I will 100% dive in, and I will buy that every time. It doesn't necessarily have to give it to me, make enough coins to buy it each time. I get what Kay's trying to say, because all the other ones are set up that way, Fortnite, Apex, etc. But having something like that where I can visually see, hey, I can get this cool stuff in that, would get me to play more, in my opinion. And not just focus on Madden Ultimate Team. Like, I do enjoy franchise. I enjoy the yard. Kay and I have a blast playing the yard, you know.
I played with y'all. I know.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, I have fun with that stuff. It's not just to where you're just focused on MUT and it's the end all be all. Like, I don't know. That's just my opinion.
Now, do you think adding those things would add more value to, like, how many MUT players play the other modes? I know, like, you know, some of us do.
So again, I'm just pulling numbers based off of calls, right? So don't quote me. I don't know what it is today. This is based off their last quarterly call, which I heard about a month and a half ago. Okay. Based on their last quarterly call, the reason why free to play is not an option for Madden is because 60% of their field is played offline. You know, it's offline. So 60% of their player base still plays offline, which is why they can't really think about doing a free to play model. Because they know that unless they do tie in franchise and stuff like that with this battle pass, which I don't hate that idea, obviously, that Shop threw out as a potential, I don't know how they could get sustainable income from that player base being so heavy, right? We talk about it. Literally, the MUT community is 40% of their game, right? And 1% or less is competitive, right? So then you have to think about it from, there's us, right? But we also know that we're playing Jimmy, Timmy, and Tom that are hanging out up the street that are on 2 hours of playtime every couple of days.
All three of those people are me.
You know what I mean? So like, and then we have us who are able to whatever, right? But then you have the rest. I don't know that me and Shop are kind of diehard CFM guys, right? Like still, whatever. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, the franchise points is enticing, but the problem is there's an end goal for that, right? So like once we fill out all of those trees, what do you do with it then, right?
Right.
So like that's the part that I think they're still trying to figure out. And then the question of value. To me, I was talking to Kay about it the other day, and I said I think that they would need to throw, like, for MUT people to be satisfied, I think there would need to be packs and guaranteed cards.
Yeah. I was gonna say I feel like for the battle pass, it would be great if at the end you got a guaranteed card.
And I even said
a top card.
Yep. I even said play all the battle passes or collect the battle passes and make it like what did I say? I said like a voucher for a golden ticket. Right?
Right. Or even like they did Derwin 2 years ago, like how those guys
get what do we call it when you can select it? What do you call them? A fantasy pack?
Yeah.
For the golden tickets. And I think that would be kind of dope, right? I'd be like, okay, I'd probably buy in for that.
Or the fire fantasy packs that they do, where you guarantee 3 of the program players over 90, whatever, stuff like that.
Yeah. I think the guaranteed player is huge because, like, in MLB, I mean, honestly, I feel like MLB does an incredible job with their long programs. Right, it's not a battle pass. You don't have to buy into. You just play the game, get the XP, and do it. But there is so much in there, and some of it sucks. Right, like this current program, there was like a 400,000 XP stretch where you got garbage shipped players that you already had from months ago. But once you got past that, like I was in a rush. I'm like, oh, let me get past this, and I get to balling out of control packs, and I get some more like some other good stuff. But the players were before that player. Right? Like you got good I still run into Fernando a lot in head-to-head. Right. You know, like some of these players, you're like, ooh, this guy, like, not only is he good, but he's good, right? Like he's a new starter for me.
And the top snout cards aren't even bad that they give you.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah. Rodriguez made my squad for a while until
I think
the new guy came out.
I think that would be the next thing, though, right? Like, if Madden wants to be able to push this kind of like that, they're going to have to push their content up. I don't think we can have content. Not that I disagree with the way, not that I dislike Madden's content right now, but there is a lot more dead time in between Madden content than there is MLB content. MLB is dropping new content every 72 hours.
When their days off, they could bring back, remember the Rising Star program that they used to have? They could bring that back. They could bring a couple of programs back. Yeah. You know, the dead time is what, believe it or not, the dead time, I think, is what frustrates most people. That, you know, on my Twitter line, is because a lot of creators and YouTubers and stuff that I rock with, but that's where I'm at. That's who I am. Listen, you guys are good players. I'm not a great player at the game. I'm okay. I'm a pack guy. I'm a contact.
The only good player here is Shop.
That's facts.
Mm-mm.
That's facts. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No, that's not facts.
All right. Listen, I was trying to be modest. You know, I'm gonna win a belt this year.
So let me ask you this though, right? Like if they had more content, we would be more excited and enticed to be grinding content and less concerned about how shitty the game is, right?
Maybe.
Hold on, pause. Hear me out, okay? Everybody look, we will see it happens, right? There's that 24-hour period window where MLB sucks. And then all of a sudden it's like, new conquest map, oh my god.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
No, I get you. That happened last week where I was like
99, oh my god, look at these stats.
I get you. That literally happened. That did happen last week.
God damn it, this game sucks again and I don't know why I keep playing. Oh my god. You know, so like it's just a never-ending roller coaster. And I think the problem with Madden is their programs are like 30 days long every time, right? It's like they just think that nobody plays their game for whatever fucking reason, even though they want us to play their game. But they're like, this program's going to be for 4.5 weeks and 2.5 extra hours on top of that. And you're like, why? Bro, I'll be done with your program literally in 2 weeks.
So I'm with you. I'm with you on all of that. But can I play devil's advocate real quick? Because everybody in the chat is against the evil empire that is EA. I would be all for, like you said, if we're not going to do power-ups anymore, that means we can get new cards on a much more regular basis, the way that we get them in MLB, right? Future stars can come out, the same player can get 3, 4, some guys have 5 cards already. Some are fucking worse. Albert Pujols, thank you.
Facts.
But every time, 0 speed, I'm still mad. Every time a player, look at last year, dude, Ed Reed had like 4 cards by New Year's, right? And I'm like, these money hungry SOBs, bro, like they bring out the same card within 5 months of each other. And all it does is send the pitchforks on Twitter and how evil EA is. And it's just a money grab and this and that. But like, you know what I mean? So like, I feel like they have that image to compete against too. But at the same time, I would be all for it, right? If you want to give me, at least let's talk Jonathan Taylor, right? Let's say Jonathan Taylor goes nuts again this year and is the team of the week in week 2 and in week 5 and in week 7 and 8 and 10. Cool. Give me 10 Jonathan Taylors. I don't give a flip, right? Load me up. But if they don't go into the power up, now that's feasible, right? I can get a 91 Jonathan Taylor and then 2 weeks later, a 92 Jonathan Taylor and then a 94 Jonathan Taylor and then a 95 Jonathan Taylor. And for me, I'm cool with it. But you're going to have people rioting outside EA headquarters in Orlando going, you money hungry sons of bitches. Going, you know what I mean? Like, and that is going to, you're going to see it all over Twitter.
Okay.
I think they're already like that.
I know, that's what I'm saying though. But if they release the same card,
they just can't afford the gas to go to EA and riot in front of them.
Yeah,
you know, but they're already.
That's why it's all over Twitter. I mean,
I was told I was not allowed near EA.
Listen, I think EA's already passed that though. I don't hear me out, okay? Right? Like you can be the good genie, I'm gonna be the bad genie. I don't think EA give a fuck what we think.
I hope they don't. I want those cards. I want.
You know what I mean?
The best card to come up.
I mean, if they were concerned about being money hungry and this, that, and the other, they certainly aren't about to drop a free to play game that's going to be 100% microtransaction based. They certainly aren't going to introduce a battle pass into Madden for the first year ever when everybody just got done complaining about how, why am I leveling through levels just to pay for packs?
Right.
The problem is that everything that has to do with Madden has to get approved by the Shield.
Yep. Facts.
Well, yeah, but I don't know if that matters, like what overall players get.
But
I had to explain that to people today about MLB because I had to explain that to people today that MLB is now the distributor of MLB The Show. It's no longer PlayStation.
Right.
If the Shield wants money for something, the suits have to make it happen. No matter how much the devs want us to get our free shit, if the Shield wants it,
that could be. This could be beneficial though, I mean, it would make the game more expensive, like you said.
Yeah.
If like say these rookie premieres, right? We got all 86 overall rookie premieres.
I gotta do those.
Boy,
like if they can, instead of some of these guys getting like, you know, left out, like why not do, you know, rookie premieres 2 in November, and now they're all 91, and then again at, you know, at Christmas, all of them get an upgrade again for future players. Like I'm okay with that. Keep like they want you to, like the motto last year or the last couple of years, you can play with your favorite player throughout the year, right? That was the plan with Powerups, except it didn't really work out that way. But if every player was then allowed to get 4, 5, 6 upgrades throughout the year, sign me up. Like I'm all for that. I don't care if it's incremental, right? Then you can decide like, ooh, I don't really need his 93, his 91 still good for me. I can still use him.
But does that see now that question that I have for you on that is, does that kill other programs? Team of the week?
I don't think so.
No,
I think that the same way MLB does it proves that it doesn't kill other programs.
Okay.
Because MLB drops 4 to 6 cards every single week for an entire month and gives you a couple legend cards and still gives you a current player of the month card. And I think Madden could do the exact same thing.
A bunch of player of the month cards.
I think Madden could be significantly more successful if they just looked at their content schedule. I think their content schedule is ass.
I've been
saying that for the last 2 years.
I would love for them to do the live series though. Like every couple of weeks where they upgrade the cards, downgrade the cards, upgrade the cards, downgrade the cards. I think that would be interesting too.
They could.
I think that would be cool. But because I think that would be more fun, because then that would change your stupid theme teams too, right? All of a sudden the Raiders theme team is hot for 3 weeks, and all of a sudden they shit the bed for 3 weeks. Well, now your Raiders theme team ain't so fired.
Yeah, I mean that works until like Thanksgiving when most of your team is legends anyway, though. Right, that only works for a little while.
That's debatable, right, Kay? I mean, I don't know about your team. I don't know how many Buffalo Bills legends were in the game last year, but the Bears didn't have that many legends. Goddamn it, I'm still playing with this team today, and we didn't have that many. You know, we got Brandon Marshall. You know, we had what's his name, the linebacker. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had obviously Walter finally got in the game. We had Fridge this year, which was great. You know, but like, not every team got it like that. You know, I got the most NFL Hall of Famers in the NFL history, and we ain't got it like that. You know, because it still comes down to licensings and stuff like that. So it's different.
I don't know, man. It's tough. It's tough. Like, I like all of these ideas. Like, there's so many possibilities of ways to change, and I don't even want to say improve, but progress. Like, because let's be honest, Madden has a lot of content. They release a lot of cards and a lot of players. The problem is we'll come into a program to like 200 new guys. I'm like, motherfucker, spread that shit out over 10 days. Not today. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that's all they got to do, honestly. Like, some of this stuff that we get.
To be fair, the problem is that like they'll break up programs every Friday, and then people bitch that it's too long in between each program.
Right? No, I get it. That's why I'm saying like you could release
Friday, Tuesday, and then Friday again.
Yes, well, I mean, I hate it. Yes, there's no reason why it needs to be a week in between.
Yes,
for sure. Because come Monday, if you dropped your program on Friday, 80% of your people are done with that program.
What program was that they released? It was towards the end of the year or middle of the year that they released something on Friday, then they did something else on like Tuesday, Wednesday of the program, and then on Friday again.
I think Zero Chill did that too. It might have been the draft. A couple of them.
Chill, and I think draft. If they do that program, then you're keeping people interested much more. Then, all right, not till next week. We're not going to get the defensive side of the ball. No, it's annoying.
Right.
because in between they'll let's say they do on Friday the offense, they'll do a heavyweights on Tuesday with right guard, and you just spent all your coins to get the right guard on the last program. So I think if they split up like Dev's saying, the content throughout the week, you'll have a lot more people more engaged.
I also think it creates a significant larger amount of team versatility. And I also think that's another thing that lacks in Madden is team versatility. All 5 of us have played MLB The Show, and I can guarantee you all 5 of us have a different roster, more so that doesn't need to be a theme team because of speed or whatever.
Right.
That, you know, we might have the same starting 3, but our bullpen is different. Or we might have, you know, the same first baseman and left fielder, but our right fielder, center fielder, and third baseman are different, right?
So do you think that has to do more with abilities, though?
No, for me, it has more to do in MLB. Sorry to cut you off. For me, it has more to do with getting the solos done. Like I know I need someone from the AL Central, the AL East, the AL West to get my solo, to get the points in the battle pass. You know, in the whatever it's called, the program. So for me, I don't mind playing with the 86 overall because I got to get that done with that player.
And maybe Madden should do more of that. Have team requirements for some of the
or like required player stats. Right, to force you to play with the cards.
And that'll break up the monotony of the team of the week players.
Yep.
Yeah. I think the problem is that once you get into like the competitive side of things, is nobody wants to hear that. They want the best cards. When
but then be competitive, right? That's the difference. The MLB competitive guys are not complaining about the cards that are coming out in MLB The Show.
Right.
Because they're competitive. They know that they're going to do their BR runs. They're going to get those guys, and they're going to be able to keep it moving. I think Madden needs to do something like that. I think what Madden needs to do is what they said and what they did for a hot second last year. If you're that badass motherfucker out there who thinks they team don't stink, you jump your ass into all Madden head to head. And when you want to be cheated out of the game and by your opponent, then you go ahead and come back to All-Star.
they need head to head all Madden from the get go.
Shop, I can have a 99 overall team and play you with a 77 overall team, and you're shutting me out. 100%. It's because 100%.
Even their ranking system needs to be tweaked a little bit, I think. Like, because it's like, you know, like me as a player should never log into a game and go, oh, I know this guy. Right? Like, I should not see a gamer tag and go, shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if I know, like, this is a problem, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that shouldn't happen.
That happened to me with Bobby V. I just sent him a message. Good game.
Right? Yeah, the guy doing this. You're streaming right now? I ain't on YouTube, motherfucker. Get me out of this.
That's exactly what I said. Right. I said, listen, I ain't becoming a clip.
Oh, hell no.
But no, like, seriously, I think that there's a couple ways. Here's the thing. If they want to, you know, if they want to get deeper in our pockets, I think there's a couple ways on their end that they could get a little bit better. And I think the number 1 and number 2 thing that I think a lot of us will say is that it's too long in between content and there's not enough versatility between players. I think that, you know, yes, cool. If you want to, theme teams only, let's not forget, theme teams only became popular 2 years ago when it was the +2 speed. I was there when the theme teams were born. I was there.
Yeah.
When they all of a sudden they shifted away from bruiser and sprinter and acrobat and all of that, and it was just, oh, if you have 50 out of 50, you get +2 speed. Right. If you have 50 out of 50, you get +4 strength. You know, this with
no power-ups.
Right? I think that they should do away with that. I think it's not necessary in the game because that's the thing that needs to change if you want to have value in the fact that you're going to release more cards. The reason why nobody complains about more cards in MLB is because, yes, do I have a binder full of cards? Hell yeah. Do I have a Cubs theme team when I feel like being cute and whatever for the content? Yeah. But do I need to play with that team because they have some edge over the other team that I built? Absolutely not. Now, are there quirks and stuff like that we pay attention to in MLB? Sure, just like there's going to be abilities and stuff you want to pay attention to in Madden. But that's based on the way that you play, right? There are some guys that play baseball MLB just to hit, Like I'm talking not bombs, but just dudes that just have
Right.
speed and contact and vision, and they beat my ass every time because they get the jump, they put the ball in the gap, and next thing I know, that motherfucker is rounding third and scoring, and there ain't nothing I can do about it. Right? It's just the way the game is played. And then there's some days where I can't miss, and I'm just hitting everything out the park because I get somebody who can't pitch. Right? So like. But in Madden, we know what it is. Guess what? Oh, this motherfucker got escape artist, and I bet he's got, short end elite or deep out elite. Oh, okay, bet. Here we go. Crossers our game, right? Or whatever, right? Like, oh, he's got, 4 dudes on his offensive line with abilities and tank as a running back. Okay, great. Guess I'm about to get powered and stretched until my life is over, right? But there's no real versatility to me, right? Because last year for sure we saw it. Everybody was just trying to run PA boot over, and the year before that it was the tight end league, right? That's what it was like. We know it. That's what we saw in the Madden Championship, and then very soon after that we saw it in the game when we were booting up against whoever it was, and eventually, sure, you kind of figured out how to stop that stuff. But just imagine if you played against somebody who had their own scheme because their own scheme worked. Right. Like that's what I think we'd like to get a port to. Where like I want to get back to a point where like ebooks are not a necessity to be successful in Madden. Right now it feels like ebooks are a necessity to be any sort of competitive in Madden. I can't just boot up in Madden and play football because the person I'm playing against is not playing football. They're playing a video game.
They're playing 75 hours of watching YouTube and watching someone else play the game.
I mean, I had to subscribe. I actually had to pay attention to Zan to finally win games the last year. Like, and that's what, that was annoying to me.
If you beat me with your own scheme, I don't mind. I understand the whole ebooks. I understand that. I understand it. But as a gamer, and a competitive player, like in games, ebooks, for me, you know how I feel.
Ain't no ebooks in Call of Duty, are there?
Nope. You get your ass kicked if you try.
Right. Ain't no ebooks in Fortnite. Ain't no ebooks in 2K. There ain't no ebooks in MLB. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know why that's such a big thing in Madden.
Skill. It comes down to 150% skill.
Right. So yeah, I mean,
we'll I just think those are different games, though. I don't
Chop, I know you be selling the ebook in your little Madden.
No, I don't sell ebooks. But to say that you're like those,
for me,
there's a game plan, right? There's a game plan.
I'm okay with
and we're all and it's also, if you think about those other games like COD, like it's one player game. Like you don't have to worry about 22 other people or 11 other people doing what the computer needs them to do. You're not relying on those.
Well, I think
with the game plans. I'm okay with the game plans. What I don't like is when the ebook players put out their ebooks for the exploit plays, the PA overboot, all that stuff.
That's my thing.
Let's say I'm playing you, Shop, and you're running inside zone on me, and I don't know how to stop it, and I watch a game plan on how to stop it and understand and learn. That's okay. But to run a meta play, that's where I get angry.
See, my biggest complaint with it as a whole is that it's not skill based, right? Like I feel like Madden at the highest level, right? I don't think it's skill based, right? It's a combo of skill, but at a bigger level, I think it's knowledge based.
But don't all games have some sort of meta? Like
sure, yeah.
Like people like meta guns. You have
meta guns, right? Exactly.
But that's the difference, though. A meta is different than what I feel like Madden does. It's like what Ross said, right? Like
exploits,
what you put out in ebook is 90% exploits that your opponent cannot do anything except get lucky because your quarterback missed the throw, or you happen to just get a bad animation that one time. But like the red route glitching, this nano blitzes, like we could go on and on about things that cannot be stopped no matter what. So at that point, you are manipulating the game. And then they allow them to go out in the Madden Championship Series and do it play after play. and it not matter.
Here's my issue. I feel like too many people feel like stuff is non-stoppable. Like there's nothing, you can run something and there's nothing nobody can do. That is not the case. 99.9% of the things that people run can be stopped if people just go and learn how to stop it.
Yeah,
Practice how to stop it.
I heard Dad voice shop right there. I never heard Dad voice shop.
Because there is nothing in the game that is unstoppable. But we always have people who are just like, oh man, he's running a glitch. Everything is a glitch. I understand a red route glitch, but running certain plays is not a glitch. Running a scheme where you have your guys off balance and they don't know, oh, should I check this Texas route or do I need to guard this crosser over? That's not a glitch.
That's fair. I agree with you. I
just get tired of people saying that everything is a glitch. There's people that's doing plays that nobody can stop. We watch the MCS, nobody can stop it. No, that's not true. They get stops.
Right. So I think that part,
they're just hard to stop.
I think that part goes into, I think, the matchmaking then though. Right? Like if you have someone who goes into a game that has a record of 20 and 65, should not be matched up against somebody who has that full-on dedicated time in there learning the playbooks, learn the routes, and get in there and like, oh, okay, good, he just cheesed me for, you know what I mean, like 4 straight, right? Like that's what we need. Yes. And that would solve a lot of it. Can I just
say this then? Can we all agree that it just gets annoying to see the same damn scheme time in and time out?
That's why I typically get so bored playing head-to-head by October.
I'm fine with the annoying.
It's just boring. It's just like
if you're so annoyed,
there are some plays.
Figure out a way to stop it.
But there are some plays that
make them quit.
There are some plays though, Shop, due to Madden gameplay, where they are glitchy and not unstoppable, but exploiting the Madden mistakes that people run around. You know, how many times do they have to nerf certain plays? That's the stuff I'm talking about.
So you telling me there are plays that if you yourself go run, you can win 98, 99%.
Remember when you would motion your tight end, certain things would happen. Remember? That's why they stopped doing that, because of the exploits in the game, and people would. That's the stuff I'm talking about. If you want to learn a game plan on how, if I'm playing you and you kick my ass 10 games with a run, I understand me going to look up a game plan on how to stop the run. But to run other people's scheme, I think, is what we're all talking about, and the
some of it too. Like some of it is like if I go into a head-to-head game, I don't think that I should need to memorize 13 adjustments to be able to stop one play.
That's not, see, and I won't even be mad about that, right? Because that you learn it, you want to learn it anyways, because you should be able to make those adjustments, because that's what your team would do in real life. The things that I'm specifically talking about is kind of what Raw said. There are ways to manipulate the game, right? To what they would say, right? Madden has come out and said this. They've admitted to this, which is why they've made some of the changes they've made, that there are ways to manipulate the game that would dull out or dumb out the AI to not do what it's supposed to do. A lot of those ebooks are built around those manipulations. So when I hear that, it sounds like EA is saying that no matter what adjustments I may have made to try to stop it, my AI is still not going to do its job correctly, or the play is still manipulated in a way to the way that EA has coded what my defense is supposed to do. It is slightly unstoppable. Okay, I'm not going to sit here and say it's not unstoppable, because agree with that, right? But if they've had to address this and make patches and things like that, that tells me that they know it's a problem as well.
I agree with that. Like the tight end delay, they patched that, but was it unstoppable? No, you could stop it.
You can stop it. Listen, you can. I'm a D- Madden player, so for me to go in and load into a game and have that happen to me 6 games in a row, it makes me want to throw my Xbox.
But that's just like me going into COD and being like, why am I dying all the time?
But
Yeah,
Why the hell am I
see,
dying all the time?
I don't agree with that. I think that
I feel like people do that. People go into games, lose, and be like, "Oh, I just got glitched." Not because you're bad. Not because you're bad. It's just because I got glitched.
well, no, okay, that happens every time. That happens. Like you'll see,
That
like
happens,
every
like,
streamer
so
will
many
come
people,
out. Yes,
and be like, "There's no way I should have lost. I got cheated. I got glitched. EA is terrible."
yes,
Instead
that
of
happens
being
all
like,
the time. That happens
"Okay, you
all
know
the
what?
time.
Maybe my opponent is just better than me."
Yeah. See, I think for me, I
Yeah,
just prefer when it is.
Okay, Shop,
it's
you're telling me
stick-based.
there's never been a
Yeah.
game that you've been in that you're just like, man, it doesn't matter. Like every game that you've been in that you just, maybe really took a shellacking, you didn't once feel like, damn, okay, they're taking advantage of the fact that the system doesn't really allow for me to whatever. You ain't never played a game of Madden this year where you felt like somebody, I won't say the word glitch, but manipulated or utilized the information of, hey, the game's defensive engine literally cannot stop this. Whatever. You've never felt that once.
I never felt like somebody could run the same play over and over and over again, and I couldn't stop it.
Okay.
Never.
Good for you.
Never.
I love you, brother, 'cause
they might mix it up, and then I get caught sleeping because I'm looking for something else. But there's no, you're not gonna run the same play, and it's gonna like win every time.
Okay, so for instance, I'll talk about it real quick. JG and I used to play a bunch of squads, and the loop around with the end. You know how you can loop around? We would block the halfback, and guess what would happen? The halfback wouldn't block. What did they keep on doing to us? Running the same play. Now you start blocking the tight end and the halfback. And I'm talking about the mechanics of the game not working, where these plays are OP and people are running those same plays. That's what I was talking about.
So OP and unstoppable are two different things in my book.
Well, it's unstoppable because I want to throw my fucking controller.
Exactly.
I'm not going to win this argument. I get it.
I don't know. Like I feel like
it wasn't an argument. Don't let it be an argument. It's just narration, right? It's just it allows us to be able to see, like you said, Raw, like you're a much significantly different skill level player than myself, Shop, Rhino, or K, right? So like that's just the difference right there. But I just wonder, Shop is obviously the closest to a comp player that we have, right? Like, I mean, Shop could probably go out there and still hang with him if he really wanted to. Yep. Yes, you could. Stop it, Shop. I watch enough of you to know that you could if you wanted to. But you just be so even keeled and mellow that you just be like, yeah, it's cool, bro. No worries, it's all good. We on to the next one. Shop don't got, but if Shop got that dog in him one day, it'd be a wrap for all of us. But anyways, it's just interesting to hear that because, like I said, I watch enough. I'm subscribed to what could be known as some ebooks and things like that, and I just and I subscribe not so much to utilize, but I subscribed more to learn. Right? I use it more to learn. Like, okay, this is what the people are doing, and when you hear it though, a lot of this stuff is like they're telling you like, hey, you need to move B to the left side because when B is over to the left side, there's, the defensive flips and there's nothing that can be, the zone is broken. Right?
You gotta make sure I can't
refix that zone and you're telling me the zone is broken, to me, that sounds like, oh, B is going to be open 9 out of 10 times, right? And if I'm winning 9 out of 10 times, 9 out of 10 times, I'm probably going to win the game, right? If I could hit that play 9 out of 10 times and Madden doesn't decide to just have me drop a pass, or if he doesn't get, like a fluky throw out a sack or whatever fluke that, we can see sometimes where it is like my quarterback is by himself and he's just all of a sudden magically under pressure, right? That to me is what I'm talking about, I guess, right? Like, it's just interesting, right? So like, I'm not looking, I don't even know how we got on this topic, if I'm being honest. I think it was Kay talking about skill matchmaking, right? And I agree. I think that they could do a better job with skill matchmaking because I can tell you right now, I have never Even though I start online in MLB from day one, have I ever matched up with any of these MLB creators that I watch?
Right.
Never. Not in BR, not in events, not in ranked. Never. Right? I think in Madden they could do better with that. Okay. I think that they should do a better job of having you play within your playing field. And I think it should be harder to tank, because a lot of guys will do that. Don't get it twisted. When they're labbing, a lot of these pro Madden guys will tank because they know that they can really take their time and catch you off guard. And they're basically using you as practice, but they just don't want to go into actual practice because they want to see what, you know, we as players would do. So don't get it twisted. That's a thing too. I already know about it. I heard about it. So Dev, that guy never taking blame that Shop was talking about, got it.
For me, with a Shop, what brought up for me was going into 6 games and seeing the same plays over and over again. I guess that's what sparked my frustration, you know, and so that's where I was coming from.
Yeah, that's where like my boredom comes from in the game. But I want to get to one more topic before we call it a night. And we'll wrap it on Madden. We got a long season to go to keep. I'm sure this will come up again too. I want to talk about the news today, not of Deebo Samuel signing a monstrous contract, and then AJ Brown taking shots at the Titans. We'll save that one for next week.
Wait, AJ Brown took shot at the Titans? I didn't know that.
A little bit, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I like it. I like the heat.
I gotta look this up now.
Yeah. But let's talk about the other big ugly elephant in the room, that is Deshaun Watson and his 6-game suspension. The NFL has 3 days to appeal it. From reading through social media today, there are a lot of unhappy people with only a 6 games. Let's say that a lot of unhappy people with only a 6-game suspension. I want to know what you guys think about the 6-game suspension and what the NFL should do and what they're going to do.
I kind of figured that it was going to be something more favorable to Deshaun Watson when the NFLPA came out yesterday and was like, hey, whatever the decision is, we're not going to appeal, and we urge the NFL to do the same. I was like, yeah, he probably got a favorable appeal there. I mean, a favorable decision in 6 games. Wow. I'm kind of floored. I think the NFL will appeal, though. I think the NFL will appeal.
Good. I concur. Rhino, what do you think? Thoughts on Deshaun Watson so far?
Yeah, I was actually blown away at the fact that it was only 6 games. That blew me. I was just like, what the hell? There's so much. I know I get a judge, came down and decided that it was 6 games, but the way the NFL operates right now in terms of suspension, it makes 0 sense. There is no continuity. There is just no standard, I guess, when it comes to suspension. You have Calvin Ridley, who bet on his team to win, gets a whole year. DeAndre Hopkins is serving a 6-game suspension right now for PEDs he supposedly took. And then you have Watson, who had 24 cases brought against him. I don't get it.
But the judge only saw 4 cases, right?
5.
The judge only ruled on 5.
Yeah.
Because they settled the other ones, right?
cases.
It was 20 that he settled, and it was only the 4 that were left.
Yep.
Okay. So it's just, I don't know. I don't get it. There's just, Goodell's got to do something to kind of reel this stuff in and figure it out and have some sort of baseline depending on the allegations or the crime that the player committed. So I don't know. It's just, it should be a year in my opinion, but I digress.
Yeah. Dev, do you think that this may, as a whole, I heard about this earlier today, this thought process that the whole thing is kind of a sham, that he got 6 games so that the NFL could then appeal afterwards and get 8 games, and then both sides were happy and they could sweep it under the rug and move on.
I'm here to tell you right now, I bet the NFL doesn't appeal at all.
I don't think they will.
I don't think they will. I'll tell you why. Because if they appeal, they have the chance of losing said appeal. And my understanding is that if they lose the appeal, that suspension gets reduced in half. which is what happened with Ben Roethlisberger or someone else recently, where he went to appeal, the NFL lost, and the suspension was reduced to half.
Okay, I did
don't
not
think-
know that.
I didn't know that either.
I don't think the NFL will appeal this. So my understanding is, you were doing it for EA. I'm gonna do it for Roger Goodell. Roger Goodell and his team fought tooth and nail to get a 12-game suspension along with an $8 million fine. And good job on Deshaun Watson for not folding and believing in himself and his case, and that the judge was going to believe him.
That's the thing. I don't think the judge believed him.
Huh?
I think the judge, according to her report, I think the judge agreed that, that he was liable. I think she just gave him 6 games.
She gave him 6 games off of what the NFL offered, though, right? The NFL has to offer what their rules state that a personal conduct, whatever, is a 6-game suspension. It doesn't matter if it's for domestic violence. It doesn't matter if it's for a hit and run.
That's
it
what
doesn't
I'm
matter.
saying.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
it's just a personal conduct, whatever, right?
Right.
However, they were pushing for the judge to give him 12 games, $8 million fine. That's what they presented.
Oh, yeah.
She said that was not necessary because based on the 4 cases she saw, there was not enough evidence to deem it excruciating circumstances to be more than what they have in black and white, which is a 6-game suspension per, up for debate based on the commissioner and, whatever that verbiage is. He can, Roger Goodell has the ability to make it more or less, per he seem fit.
Right.
So she, so she said that she didn't see anything in here that said the extenuating circumstances and that he, needed to be more than just the 6 games. Look, people gonna hate me for saying this. I am still of the notion that does Deshaun Watson like massages? Sure. Do I think he disrespected, assaulted, or, whatever the proper PC term is, to 30 women? Because at the end of the day, it actually was 30 cases, and a couple of them got thrown out because some women got looked at for extortion. But the actual true number of cases brought towards him was 30. No. And I still to this day it doesn't make sense to me personally. But I also know that apparently, like, some other people did some investigating, and he reached out to 66 women in a 17-month. We don't know. Maybe a lot of women said no. Maybe he had to reach out to 66 women because that many people were booked. That many people couldn't reach, whatever he needed associated. Maybe he was trying to find somebody to be able to come with him weekly or whatever. Like, I know a guy personally that just became Julius Randle's trainer. He's now going to be with Julius Randle for every game over their 6-month NBA season, right? Maybe he was looking for someone to be with him all the time. They didn't want to disclose what the information was about, right? But so yeah, he reached out a lot. That doesn't make him a bad person. They didn't say he reached out a lot and pulled a Vince McMahon, right? He wasn't just out here showing his willy to people on Instagram. So I just don't, I have a problem with believing that he would change just because he found someone or another. I think that there's still something strange about this whole situation. And I think once the women realized that they were going to probably get out with nothing, that's why all of them except for one has settled. And I actually think that one will potentially settle. She has been pretty steadfast about verbiage in said settlement, but I'm sure once they get that ironed out, that will get settled. it's just weird to me, man. And it's weird to me that it became, you know, such a big deal when Roger Goodell's ass got raided by the FBI, you know, and paid a fine and kept it moving. So the fact that this even had to be such a big thing, to me, is still kind of arbitrary, if you will, in itself. Because Roger Goodell didn't have to go in front of no panel or nothing like that, and his ass was a whole sting operation. So like, it, you know,
Yeah.
I think the 6 games was going to happen no matter what, because I think had they got their 12 games, he would have appealed. It probably would have got reduced regardless. I had been saying from the get-go that he wasn't going to get more than probably 6 to 8 games. I didn't think more than half a season was going to ever be in his future. I am surprised that she didn't agree with the $8 million fine, but again, it was either the 12 and the 8 or the 6 that's written in black and white based on their policies from the CBA and stuff like that. So I get it. However, also in the CBA policy is that if they NFL, you know, whatever, and they lose, then you have the potential of the suspension being reduced. So
do you think any of this has to do with do you think him missing last season has anything to do with just it being 6 games?
I don't think so. I don't think this woman cares that much to know that he missed all of last season. I don't know that would have carried in a weight, right? Because he really only missed last season because he wanted to. Had nothing to do with this. Texans would have played him if he had made himself available, but he was very blunt about not wanting to be in Houston.
And that's when the allegations came out.
Funny.
Right.
When
Funny.
he said
Suspicious,
he
right?
said he didn't want to go.
Yeah, I mean, we all know one thing is that rich old white dudes are very untrustworthy.
Hey, Kate said it. Appreciate
It's facts, bro. Yeah, rich old white dudes are no good. I don't trust none of that. Raw, as somebody who knows a plethora of NFL players and flexes on them all the time, what are your thoughts on the case? And are you willing to take one for the team and say that Deshaun Watson tried to use you as a proxy for betting, and we could just move past all this and look at a 1-year ban?
All right, so there's a couple of things that I feel about this. I think the number of women was blown out of proportion because he wanted out of Texas, right? But I think that if we're gonna hold, I guess what's the word to use, morality, you know, as a father of 3 daughters, a granddaughter, a wife, I think the mistreatment of women should be punished way more than gambling. Calvin Ridley got a year. Calvin Ridley got a year for gambling, and we're out here saying that this
to win. But we're out here trading, you know, and Pete. Remember, Pete Rose is banned from the Hall of Fame and all this. But we're out here saying that this man was inappropriate to 24 women, and he's supposed to be the leader of a franchise, a role model to many, and we give him a 6-game suspension. So, like I said, as a father, I want to see him do 2 years, 3 years, because of the mistreatment of women. Hold on. But again, you know, the NFL is going to be the NFL, and they're going to do whatever they please. The NFL is their own judge and jury. 6 games, I don't think it's enough. I think it should be a year. With the evidence that was given or whatever the judge said. But I also do, you know, Dev made a good point before. You know, the problem is that we don't really fully know what happened. He wanted out of Texas, and all of a sudden, all this claims came out. So, I don't know. Yeah, no, the timing is definitely suspicious.
My NFL friends don't comment on this.
I'm sure. I'm sure. Even if they did, I'm sure they told you not to fucking speak another word of it ever again. Right. Exactly.
I mean, go ahead. I know Rhino still got to talk. Go ahead, Rhino.
I already talked.
He talked
already?
Did you talk? Who got to talk? Shop? Did y'all talk? Me?
That's it. Everybody talk. That's it.
That's
it. We're on a rap time.
Okay. All right, bet. I'm just going to leave y'all with this. Too many entities investigated this. Okay, we had private investigators, the FBI, the NFL, journalistic investigators, and the worst that anybody could find was that he reached out to 66 different women that were massage therapists in a 17-month period and tried to label him as a predator because of that.
Well, I mean, so
The goddamn Wall Street Journal found pictures of Vince McMahon's dick
yeah, rich
faster
old white dudes are
than
dumb
they
too.
found anything on Deshaun Watson. We've been talking about this stuff for almost 2 years.
Yeah, I mean,
why wasn't there a bigger punishment for Robert Kraft?
I'm not even worried about Mr. Bob Kraft. That's between him and the FBI and the NFL. We're just talking about this right now. And again, Robert Kraft got caught in the act. Again, got raided by the FBI. Pants down, happy ending. Okay?
That's my point.
Deshaun Watson
That
never.
might be another reason why the NFL
no one
won't
ever
do
found
it.
anything. So much so that even the criminal case was like, nah, man, there's really nothing here that says that he did anything. This is all hearsay.
right. Well,
Like that,
I mean,
that
that's
has to hold value.
Right.
It has to. And I'm never ever like Ross said, I am a father, a beautiful baby girl. I have whatever, I'm going to admit something. I have put somebody in the hospital for touching my sister. Okay? Like, no, I'm not that guy. I'm not going to sit here and defend you if you're that guy, but there's just a lot, and we got too many internet activities and journalists and too much going on that it's too easy to have stuff leaked, which is why I just don't think this actually happened. I don't think any of this shit actually happened. I really think this is all fake. And they are trying, and they tried to build it and tried to build it and tried to build it and hope that this young man will fold under the pressure of it. And he said, I don't know who the fuck y'all think I am, but I know who I am, and I'm not that guy. So we can draw this out as long as you want to. And I think he made the Cleveland Browns feel that way. And that's exactly why they gave him that contract.
I agree, but I just don't like the fact that he had to settle either. Like, I that's the other thing I don't like about our
But see, if he didn't settle, though, if he didn't settle, we'd be going on for this for years.
I know, but the fact that he settled makes him look guilty. And I'm with you, Dev. I don't think any of this is real. Like, I don't think this, like you said, it's all hearsay, and I just don't like the fact that he had to settle in order to put this behind him.
I will say this, like, for the nature of like what he did, it is all done behind closed doors. Like, how much evidence are you gonna find besides he said, she said, right? Like, he wasn't dumb enough like Vince McMahon to go ahead and send dick pics to everybody before they fucking met up the first time. He gets them behind the, hey, are you know what I mean? Like, this is a one-on-one conversation behind closed doors if it were to happen. Not a broadcast Twitter DM or 30, Insta DM.
Like, I figured one of the girls should have recorded something that said, hey, I said no, and she's recording the whole thing, and he's like, I don't care what you say. Like, there's nothing. There's nothing. Like you said, it's all.
We talking about. They couldn't even, like, listen. If you were a female masseuse, wouldn't you take pictures with Deshaun Watson and be like, "Hey, this is my client for the day," just to get some clout, right? And if Deshaun, I'm sure Deshaun, because I've heard nothing but good things about Deshaun, I can believe that he would stop and take a picture with you to help you build your business. I don't. The problem that I have is, and again, if it's between him and God now, right? It's between him and God. But the way that they tried to push this story that he was predatory, that he was this, that he was that, but there was no issue of this at all in college. Like, he didn't just all of a sudden blow up. He didn't just all of a sudden become the face of a franchise overnight, right? He'd been in the NFL for a while now. So what changed over the last year and a half? Him and his wife having issues? Doesn't seem like it, because she's still with him and stands by him. Right? This ain't like Vince and Linda, where Linda been gone for years and years, but they still legally married because she knew about these allegations back then. And so now she got to be dodging questions. You know what I'm saying? This ain't that. I don't think that Deshaun Watson is this guy. And I hate that this picture will be painted of him and be tainted of him for the rest of his life. Because there are plenty of people who are that guy who we are revering, i.e. Bob Kraft. You know, there are people right now standing behind Vince like, oh, that's just what they do. Oh, they're part of the Billionaire Boys Club. You know, the old Donald Trump line, which I ain't gonna say, right? Like there's people out there that are revering this type of stuff, and it's
Right.
crazy to me. And I have a hard time believing that Deshaun Watson did it, because in your heart of hearts, if you didn't, like if he really did do this, I mean, there's no shot that you just continue on. There's no shot that you don't freak out or you don't there's just that man didn't miss a step. He wasn't afraid to be seen in public. I don't think he did this. I really don't. Because I know that when you are, it always feel like somebody breathing down your back, you're getting close or this, that, and the other, and it's just too much. And I just don't. I have a hard time believing that he did that. But if he did, him and God will deal with it, and he'll spend the rest of his life burning in hell. That ain't my problem.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll find out what the NFL is going to do in the next couple of days. They only have 3 days to make their appeal. That'll push it out, so I'm sure we'll hear something by Wednesday. Hell, we probably get here tomorrow if they're going to or not. I'd be surprised if it pushed out any longer than that. But that is all the time. We went on for 2 hours, boys. We went way later than usual. Come football season, 8:15. We're out. Week 2, I will not be here because my ass will be at the stadium. The Bills and Titans. I know there's a lot of people that plan on coming in for that game. Hell, I have a lot of family coming down for that game. But gentlemen, we are so close to football. I can fucking taste it.
Thursday is the Hall of Fame game.
It's Thursday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we get to watch football on TV for real?
For real.
Well, kind of for real. It's like the third stringers the whole time, but like.
Hey,
I mean, you'll get to see Joe Burrow. I mean, you may not get to see Joe Burrow.
No, you ain't seeing Joe Burrow until game 3 for a quarter, and that's it. Like all these guys, I know I'm I want to see Josh Allen out there. I better see him for 2 drives the whole damn preseason, and that's it. I don't want to see nothing else. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right. DJ's right on. Right, it's televised practice on Thursday. Whatever, there's football on TV though. I can't wait. You bet your ass I'm gonna be glued to it for about 9 minutes until I go, oh, these kids suck. It's just like the USFL shit, man. Yeah, probably.
They got the first quarter out of me.
It'll be all the presentation and stuff, just like that USFL is like, ooh, it's football. It's like, ooh, it's not. This ain't really football. There's a level of it, like watching lower tier leagues gave me a far better appreciation for the NFL and the high skilled players, like things that you just took for granted, right? Like a 3-yard out pass to be near the running back. And then when they're not, you're like, why? How, this guy played in the NFL at some point? Like it was mind boggling. So yeah, definitely a much better appreciation. But we're gonna go over and send everybody over to Mr. Roseshocker today. Appreciate everybody hanging out today, welcoming us back. Got a nice little crowd today. I love seeing everybody back in. Gentlemen, I appreciate you guys coming in and rocking with us all night. People in the chat, if you guys are content creators and want to go ahead and join us at Nexus, find us on Twitter. We will have the application form on there, just some formalities and stuff, so you guys we can get to know you, and you can come over and join us for all this fantastic content collaborations. That is it. Mr. Dev, sir, you want to take us out with that 200%?
Feels good. 200%, y'all. 100% passion, 100% positivity, and you will reap all the benefits that you see. Have a wonderful day.
See ya.
I don't like his voice. He said it.
Why?